Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this gotta adjust the camera. Try to get this retie thing done because I keep talking about doing a retie, and I just realized that most of the videos I've posted have something to do with me washing my hair because I'm getting ready to wash my hair again. Why is that the only time I think about vlogging with these locks is when I'm getting ready to wash my hair? Okay, so for the duration of this video, I'm going to do a voiceover so that I can explain what's going on in the clip. I recorded this earlier, but I didn't like the things I said in the video, so I'm just gonna talk to you guys this way. Right now, what you see me doing is just wetting my hair because the perimeter area is already retied, so the center is all that's left to be retied. And that's the part that I touched. Yeah, that part right there. So wetting my hair around the perimeter is going to make it easier for me to tell the difference between the locks that haven't been retied and the locks that have been. But also, I'm under the impression that you're not supposed to retie your hair dry. It should be damp, is my understanding, to help avoid like breakage and whatnot. So it's going to help me keep my hair from being completely dry as I finish retying my hair. So it usually takes me 2 or 3 days to completely retie my hair if I'm taking breaks or I just don't sit down and do it in an evening. If I do sit still for a full day to just retie my hair, it'll take like 6 hours or so for me to get it all done. And I use a latch hook and I use a yarn needle, which you'll see later in the video or in the clip. So right now I'm using clips to hold down the locks that have already been retied. It's just some extra security so that I don't accidentally tie 2 locks together at the root, because it can be a pain to try to undo that once it's done. And it also provides a place for me to clip down a lock that has newly been retied. I'm now taking the rubber band off of the locks that haven't been retied yet. I wouldn't ordinarily recommend that you use these type of rubber bands, the small rubber ones, because, well, for me, I usually end up getting some hair caught in them, as you could see in that clip. And I don't want that to happen with my locks because I feel like it could cause damage later on down the line. So I wouldn't recommend using those. The latch hook that I just showed you was pink and green, and then that I'm holding is the yarn needle. Where you see me putting my nail, that's where I used a screwdriver to open the eye of the yarn needle because they don't come that way. If you want to see a video of that, I could do it later. So at this point, I threaded my lock through the needle eye, and then I went from left to right at my root and pulled the needle through, and then from top to bottom with the needle and pulled my lock all the way through. And I just continued doing that until I felt that the lock was tight enough, and then I clipped it down. And then I just move on to the next lock from there. Just in case you weren't able to see that, I'm going to show you one more lock, but this time a little slower. So you can see where the hair is pulled through the eye of the yarn needle. And I try to put it through at least halfway. And then I'm going to show you a little bit closer where at the root I go from, well, in this case, right to left, because that's my right hand, right to left. And I pull the lock all the way through the end, and then I'm gonna take the lock and secure it again with my hand, and then take the needle and pull it through from top to bottom. You see me secure the lock at the root first with my left hand, and then I take the needle and I pull it through the top, and then I'm gonna find the needle in the back with my hand and pull it all the way through until it's complete. And I'll do this until I feel that it's tight enough that I can move on, and then I clamp the lock down. So I don't use the latch hook unless one of the locks that I'm using is too big to fit through the needle eye. This lock here is too big. So what you see me doing first is taking some of the frizz on this lock and wrapping it all the way around until I get to the end. After that is when I grab my latch hook. And then I use the latch hook the same way I would the needle, except I try to be a little more careful when I'm putting the latch hook through the root, which you can see me like preparing myself a few times before I actually put it through the root. And then I wrap the lock around the latch hook and then into the little hook part on the end, just to secure it, to be sure that I'm going to be able to pull that lock all the way through the root that is in. And then I pull the lock a little bit, put a little tension on it, and then flip the latch, which you can see there. And then I pull the lock all the way through the root, and you can see me struggle a little bit to get the lock, all the way through. I end up having to use my free hand to pull the lock out. And that's one of the reasons why I would like to stop using the latch hook. But I won't be able to do that until I get a larger yarn needle. And so I'm going to treat that lock the same way. And I'm just going to retie it until I feel it's tight enough. And then I'm going to clamp it down. So the method I'm using to retie my hair is called interlocking. There are a couple other ways to retie your hair, but I've chosen interlocking because it doesn't require any products, and I don't want to have to like use any gels or anything on my hair to achieve my desired lock look. And then also I don't want to have to retie my hair every time I wash it. Kind of like with palm rolling, where when you wash your hair, if there's new growth, generally people will palm roll it at that point, which would mean that I would technically end up retying my hair every 2 weeks. And I don't want to have to do that. With interlocking, I retie my hair every 5 weeks. Well, somewhere between 4 and 6 weeks. It kind of just depends on how I feel about the way my roots are when I put my hands in my head. Now that I think about it, I could be wrong about the retying for the palm rolling. I've heard some people say that they retie when they wash their hair, and some people say that they don't retie their hair for an extended period of time. So let me know in the comments, if you have locks and you do palm roll, how often do you retie your hair or palm roll your hair? So just let me know that in the comments, because I could be wrong. I don't palm roll, so I don't want to give the wrong information on that. As always, thanks for watching. If you like this video, click the like button. If you'd like to follow my journey, please subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.